The news, good evening. Seychelles has received a grant of 40 million yuan, which is equivalent to 120 million rupees from the Chinese government through an agreement on economic and technical cooperation. The agreement was signed by the Chinese ambassador to Seychelles, Guo Wei, and the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Sylvestre Radegonde.
The signing took place this morning at the Botanical House at Montfleury. Ambassador Guo Wei said the grant follows the visit last month by the ministerial delegation led by the Chinese Foreign Affairs Minister Wang Yi. And she added that the agreement represents the testimony of China's continued support regarding the development of Seychelles. In thanking the ambassador, Minister Sylvestre Radegonde emphasized the solidarity of the Chinese government being demonstrated through the assistance given to Seychelles.
This is a donation from the Chinese government for about 40 million RMB. It's a donation, as I said, from the Chinese government, finalized during the recent visit of the Foreign Minister of China. And basically, it'll be for us jointly to decide on what project we should use the money on.
Over the past 45 years, Seychelles and China have signed other agreements which have helped to finance several projects.
A group of people have signed a petition asking government to review a project for the construction of a new hotel at Anse-la-Mouche. Representatives of the petitioners handed over a copy of the petition at the gates of State House this morning. The petition, addressed to President Wavel Ramkalawan, expresses the concerns of the petitioners at the way the approval process for the project was handled by the previous government. The petitioners include many residents of Anse-la-Mouche and various non-governmental organizations. 145 people signed the petition by hand at Anse-la-Mouche during the weekend, and over 900 signed online. When the project was presented to the public in 2019, the proposed development of around $7.5 million had various components, including a 4-star hotel of 120 rooms, commercial facilities, and the construction of a new road. The Ministry of Health is encouraging members of the public who have taken the first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine to go for their second dose. Since the rolling out of the second dose of a vaccine started last Friday in 4 vaccination centers on Mahé, there is a discrepancy in the number of people who are expected to turn up versus those who are actually turning up for their complete dose of the vaccine. Early this morning, there were long queues at most of the stations. At the closing of the stations today, a total of 2,024 people turned up for their vaccine. The Ministry of Health is reminding the public that it is imperative that they take the second dose. The Ministry of Health has received another generous donation for its frontline workers. This was from the Lions Club of Seychelles and its branches, the Melvin Jones Club of Seychelles, Centennial Women Lions and Rising Lions Club. The donation, worth 30,000 rupees, comprises of essential commodities for tea and coffee, juices, water, tidy towels and hand sanitizers. It is mainly for staff and patients of the central and northern region, which include the Beauvallon, Glacis and English River health centers. However, some other clinics and health centers will also benefit. The zone chairperson of the Lions of Seychelles, Mrs. Karpagam Sentil Kumar, presented a sample of the goods to the Director of Community Health, Nicolas Chamlay, during a short ceremony at the English River Health Centre this morning. She has described it as a token of appreciation for frontline workers for their services towards their community. The leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Sébastien Pillet, has stated that his absence in the Platinum Committee will not affect his role in monitoring the work of the government and provide propositions in order to move forward. He made the statement following a press release from the United Seychelles Party that announced that the leader of the opposition had left the committee. According to the press release, this was because the government is not doing enough to handle the COVID-19 situation, that it's taking an autocratic approach and it's not ready to listen to other advice.
I think being on the Platinum Committee was constraining my role as the leader of the opposition in the National Assembly because I was not able to actually question and exercise oversight and scrutiny of what the government is doing if I am part of that decision-making process. The other thing is that I feel that there has to be a clear and strong message sent to the government that there will be oversight on what it is doing, there will be a scrutiny on what it is doing, and that certain actions that are going on currently cannot continue. You cannot continue to have people receiving letters written by ministers warning them of things they've said either on Facebook or anywhere else. If these people have done something wrong, fair enough. But these letters are being signed by ministers, not by directors, not by director generals, not by the PSs. And to me, I think even the handling of the COVID situation has to improve. Right now, you cannot go anywhere without fearing of catching COVID. So I think it's important that my role is essentially consolidated in the National Assembly, and this is what I will do, and this is what I will focus on. I have tried to work with that committee. I have informed the authorities, and I will continue to inform the authorities when I get information on situations that unfold. Perhaps they're not saying this, but I do. I do inform them. So I think my decision is in the best interest of not only the Seychelles people, but it is also in the best interest of the National Assembly in terms of being able to allow the institution to exercise a proper oversight and scrutiny of what the government is doing.
And President Wavell Ramkalawan says that it is with much regret that he has learned that the United Seychelles has ordered the leader of the opposition to withdraw from the COVID-19 Platinum Committee. The committee is the highest level at which the related issues are discussed and national decisions taken. He adds that he has not received any communication from Mr. Pillay as of yesterday, Sunday, the 7th of February.
President Ramkalawan says in a communique that Mr. Pillay was not representing a political party on the Platinum Committee, but rather his office. He had participated in one meeting, and it is on record that Mr. Ramkalawan has expressed his appreciation for Mr. Pillay's contributions that helped push the country towards greater restrictions. He had also expressed the sentiment that in difficult times, everyone should come forward and give a helping hand. Leaving the committee at a time when the situation is at its worst is indeed regrettable, he says. Mr. Ramkalawan says he has always believed in inclusivity to the extent that he had offered all politically named ambassadors to remain in post. They resigned. In the same way, by inviting Mr. Pillay to be part of the Platinum Committee, he was extending a hand as a sign of respect for the office he holds and offering a platform to participate in national issues. He pointed out that this is a privilege he has never received from the US when they were in government. He guessed this just puts an end to who believes and practices collaboration and non-partisan approach to addressing national issues. President Ramkalawan reminds everyone that there is no room for politics as the country addresses this COVID pandemic. He says unity and togetherness are what will help everyone to come out of these worrying times stronger as a nation.
And the delivery of the budget address by the Minister for Finance, Trade and Economic Planning, Mr. Nadir Hassan, which was scheduled for tomorrow, Tuesday, the 9th of February, has been postponed after one of the minister's close contacts has tested positive for COVID-19. The minister has so far tested negative, but in line with health protocols, he has been advised by the health authorities to remain in quarantine until a further test. The new date of the budget address has been tentatively set for the 16th of February. Sittings of the National Assembly have been suspended for a week. For the week of February the 8th, on the advice of the Public Health Commissioner, pending final PCR tests for members who attended a meeting on Saturday the 31st of January in which one of the participants later tested positive for COVID-19. And with this, we end this news summary. Thank you for watching. Have a very pleasant evening.